glass has broken or your plate has broken, and you will say, oh, these are not permanent, they are nature. So they will just, it's the nature, they just broken off. So that too is still, we are in the linear. That anesa and dukkha are still false anesa and dukkha. We are not seeing through our mind. We still don't attain genuine anesa, dukkha and anatta. So just to make our mind more clearer, Sarah says when he was 14 years old as a novice and when he went for a bigger father, in front of him there were two men talking just between them. So they were also discussing about this Nesa Dukkha Anatta. So one was speaking and one was listening very attentively. So the one person said, you must realize this Nesa as now I am standing. Now after that I lift up my feet and then I step forward. And now both of my feet were now in front. Now in that previous day, they were not there. So this is anesa. So you better bear in your mind till you die. So the other person who was thinking that it's a genuine anesa. So Jana says, only he too, he doesn't know at that time when he was very young, he doesn't know which is the genuine anesa and false anesa. So he too, he think that was the right thing. So only after, as Seattle comes to learn about this Vipassana meditation, and only after his practice, he knows what is anesa and dukkha anatta. So at that moment, Seattle realized that those two men were thinking that the false anesa is the real anesa. So even nowadays, we all can see there are groups of people with different types of learning the Dhamma. Some are also preaching about this anesa, dukkha, anatta, and some are also attentively listening to them because they still think the false anesa and dukkha, anatta as a genuine one. But to attain the genuine anesa and dukkha, anatta is we have to practice our meditation through our mind, through our experience. Only we will be able to see this anesa, dukkha, anatta true one or genuine one. So to reach Nibbana, after we have realized all these three noble truths in our life, we will be able to reach Nibbana. So to reach Nibbana, we can go with all these false anesa, dukkha, and anatta. So in our life, we may have forgery of the signature and false tickets and all. We can do these things, or sometimes these swindlers, they won't even recognize by the concerned people that they will go out with all these forgeries. But to attain Nibbana, if we want to attain the real Nibbana, we must go through with the genuine anesa, dukkha, and anatta. So to attain that genuine anesa, dukkha, and anatta is we have to strive ourselves with our own mind, with our own experience only, we will be able to see this truth anesa, dukkha, and anatta.
အရာကမ္မထန်ကြီးက
as long as they don't attain that genuine or paramata anesa, dukkha, anatta, we will be still in this tinya or anesa, dukkha, anatta. So whenever we are still in that tinya anesa, dukkha, anatta, we still don't know what is the meaning of paramata anesa, dukkha, anatta. So as we don't realize the truth, we don't know which is genuine, which is true, and which is false. So just to remind again, Jara says he has told about this story before. but for me it's the first time. And Sarah wants to remind to the yogis also, because we say that it's a meditation, the same thing from the Mahasi, because as you all know, in Burma, Mahasi is one of the most famous meditation center, and the name is also a very famous one. So when Seattle was ordered to go and set up a center near Vilna, which was his Buddhist birthplace, about 18 miles away from Vilna, he has to set up a center, and there were three men, three Dayaka. They came for meditation. So at that time, Seattle has asked them, because Seattle wants to know whenever a new yogi comes in, he has to inquire about it, whether they have any experience about meditation or what type of method they adopt. So after inquiring that, they said they have adopted Mahasi method. So as he goes on noting, after about 50 minutes of meditation and sitting meditation, they used to lie down. They just not lie down very smoothly, they just bang on the floor. So as they goes on doing all this off and on for about 15 minutes, half an hour, and so, the other yogis became disturbed. So they go and tell Seattle that these three men, they didn't know what they were doing, because as they goes on noting, and after some time they have developed a good samadhi or good concentration, as these three men were lying down on the floor making such noises, so they have disturbed their concentration. So Seattle has to call them up and to inquire again. So they said they have practiced the Mahasi method. So Seattle has to inquire again with which instructor or which Kammatthana Sariya they have been meditating. So at last, when Seattle comes to realize that they have been taking meditation, although they say it's a Mahasi method, that the instructor is just a layman. He has practiced by himself. Not only that, he is not a recognized instructor by the center. So he hasn't even been into the Mahasi center in Rangi. So what he has been doing was, he has been reading these Mahasi books, and from this book knowledge, although he haven't has own experience by himself, he has been teaching all these three men by reading from the books. So Sarah says how they have been meditating when Sarah asked them. So they said they have been trying very hard. They have to note from morning till night. Only at sleeping time they have rest. So how many instructors they have? So they answered that they have 4 instructors. And the yogis were only 3. 3 yogis with 4 instructors. So as these 4 instructors, they just guide them from the book knowledge. So while they were meditating, these 4 instructors, they have been encouraging from outside that you must not go on and on. So as they have been encouraged by the instructors to note, to try very hard, so as they become exhausted, so they fell down. So he wants to know why he was fell down. So he asks his instructor, so what happened to him. So his instructor said, oh, that's very good. Now you attain Sotapa. So they think by lying down, they are reaching the same point. So after half an hour of meditation, they back lying down again. So now you reach the Sadaka. So after about 4 times lying down, you reach Arahata, or he is an Arahant. So the Arahant, he has to face all these 4 Arahants. He has to teach this 4 Arahants. So after that, he and Sayadaw has to explain to them and to teach them the right way. So Sayadaw says, don't let yourself become Arahant again and again. If you want to go back home very early, not before the tea time, Sayadaw says you just lie down and just think of yourself as a Rahana. Then you can go back. Today Sayadaw says he is going to start his holy for the day, the Vipassana meditation, and he is going to talk on account of his plan has been donated by the devotees from MBLC. So on account of this dana, he is going to teach on the topic of dana and what are the effects. So according to Quadranato, that was during the time of Buddha, there was one deity. He wanted to ask, he has so many things he couldn't solve. So he wanted to know his problems. So only at midnight he went down to pay respect to Buddha and ask the questions. So the first question he set up was, Kenino Balado Hoti means, in this case, Sayadaw says, although that deity was in the olden times, he is so advanced and his questions were so scientific. So during that time, he wants to know by which way of donating the things is equivalent by means that he has donated his strength or energy to Buddha or Sangha or Dhamma or the Buddha. So Sayadaw says, even nowadays, even among our families, we can see not even two people have equal energy. So just by donating, supposing we are going to donate to Sayadaw umbrellas, slippers or medicines, but these things we can buy and donate. Supposing we want to donate our energy or strength, how can we go and make up in pieces and how can we go and donate while we are alive? So in this case, Sayadaw says, as the deity has asked, even a learned man who couldn't answer at the spot. But as for Buddha, as he possessed Tapimuta Jnana, he just answered on the spot. That by means of giving, donating or offering your strength or energy means by giving, offering rice and all any eatable things. Like you all have been donating here, rice, all the curries, all the food, all the fruits, whatever, and it can be eaten. So Sayadaw says nowadays people have to be more energetic, to have more strength, to be more healthy. they have to do such a lot of exercise. They have to take so many medicines by both orally and by injections. So Sarah says he has been treated by giving him so many medicines in form of tablets, in form of liquid. So just without taking all these medicines, by taking orally or by injection, just to be strong enough and more energetic from inborn. You can see in some people from inborn they were very strong and they don't need any medicine at all. So these people you can see that in accordance with Buddhism, during the previous life they must have donated all these edible things to the Triple Gem. The deity said at number 2 question is by giving, by offering which he means that he has donated his appearance. Vinda means appearance. So Sarah says, so to donate your appearance or your form is that's not easy. Sarah says if it is easy, then if beautiful Dayaka and Lady Dayaka, if they have donated their appearance, Sarah says he will be a pretty monk. So as Buddha, he has, as he says before, as he possessed a Taviniganyana, he answered on the spot on this question also. So this means that if you want to attain good appearance, then by offering all clothes or any clothes to the Triple Gem, then which means you have donated your appearance. So as for us today, we can donate robes to Sangha. So similarly, Sarah says not only to the Sangha, if you donate clothes, even your old ones, to those people who are very poor, or if you donate clothes and any things for them to use to your elderly people or to your parents with good clothes and valuable clothes, then this means also that you are donating your appearance. So in human beings, we can see some men and women since they were born, they were very beautiful, they were very pretty. So as a Buddhist, we can see that from inborn, as they were very pretty, they must have done this dana by donating the clothes to the poor people, to the elderly people, and offering these robes to the Sangha. So in this way, Buddha has said that by donating the wearable things or the robes to the Triple Gem means you have donated your appearance. As he was satisfied with the number 2 question, he again asked the number 3 question. In this question, he asked that in which ways by donating or offering things to others by means that which is equivalent as donating his eyes. So in our daily life, we can see there are so many blind people, those who have very poor eyesight. So while we are alive, Sarah says to donate our eyes is quite impossible. So Sarah says he has been hearing that there are some people, as soon as they die, they have donate. Before that, previously they have arranged that they are going to donate their eyes. So afterwards, when they died, it was taken off and preserved it for to use in the appropriate condition. So even then, Sarah says just to be successful dana it's quite a hardship to have that successful dana. So even then, there are things. Supposing if somebody is in needed emergency for eye grafting, so as soon as the person has died with his eyesight was good, but even then, his or her relative who left behind, they doesn't want to let them to take off the eyeballs because they think the dead person will be disfigured. So in this case, even though you need it very urgently, there must be somebody who must be able to donate at that time. So Sarah wants to give an example through his own experience, because Sarah has a cousin sister. She lives in a village in a remote area, so she is also quite ignorant about all these advanced in medicines. So as she has a very poor eyesight, so she came down to Rangoon, and Sarah has advised her to consult an eye specialist. So after consulting with an eye specialist, he advised that if she can change her eyes with a good eye from somebody, then she can have that eyesight as normal as others. So Sarah and all the others have arranged and put her in as an inpatient in the eye unit. So as they have been advised by the eye specialist to wait as when there is somebody to donate for the eyes for the Sarah's cousin sister. So she has been staying as an inpatient for about nearly 2 months. So only after 2 months, now they have the chance. There is somebody to donate the eye for her. But even at that moment, Sarah's cousin sister, when she come to realize that this eye has to be taken off from the dead body, so she was very scared and she was frightened and she refused to the eye specialist treatment that if she has taken that eye from the dead person, because she has taken that eye, the dead person will be going to be haunted her all along because she has taken his eyes. So only at the last moment she refused and she came back from the eye hospital. So Sarah wants to say is that it's a hardship to develop a successful dana. Either the receiving side as well as the donating side must have fulfilled the condition. So just to develop a good eyesight, or by donating a good eyesight means it is, as Buddha has replied, that by donating the light to the Buddha or to all these triple gems mean you have donated your eyes. So Sarah says, although nowadays there are so many forms of lights you can be donated, but during the Buddha's time it was quite difficult. There will be only those fire which is soaked, the light to be produced with clothes which were soaked in the sesame oil and all the other different types of oil, and you can donate that form of light. But nowadays there are so many forms of light. Either you can donate in the form of candles, all forms of electronic lights, or kerosene while light can be produced from the kerosene while and all the other forms, all these uh, light you can be donated to the hotel, to the triple chair, or in other ways you can donate either to those people who are in need. Supposing you donate spectacles to those poor people or to those people who are in the old age homes, and if they can't see or read, you can donate spectacles to them. So, which means that you have donated your eyesight. We're satisfied with the number 3 answer. So now we came up with the number 4 problem. So number 4 is, in Pali is Kendador Kukado 40 means by which means or by offering which things it's equivalent that meaning of you have related your sukha or your both mentally and bodily, both physically and mentally. So so nowadays, Sarah says, we can see in everyday life, everybody has been striving hard from the morning till night. They have to do the work very hard, day after day and night after night. So why are they doing so hard in this life? So we can see that everybody has been striving hard to attain, we want to be happy, both we want to be prosperous and we want to be wealthy, both mentally and physically. So Sarah says, although we are striving so hard, can we have that sukha, or can we be happy both mentally and physically at the same time? So it is quite hard to be prosperous and to attain that sukha both mentally and physically. It's quite hard because we can see those wealthy people. They possess so many wealth from the business. They possess a very luxurious buildings with a very good, very large compound. They have very beautiful things around them. They have beautiful cars. They have their family. And some even looking from outside. Some have to envy and some have to admire their work. But if you look very deeply inside, or if you are one of the intimate friend to them, at one time or another you will come to realize that because of something is wrong, from their mind they don't seem to be happy. Because they have to worry about their business, they have to worry about so many things. There will be so many misfortunes inside those all these wealthy things. So on the other hand, if you look onto the poor people, they have to stay in huts with a very scattered thatch as a roof. But if you look and observe them, they seem to be happy. From the mind they are happy. You can see them whistling along those, you can see to the laborers whistling along and they'll be singing all day long. But for them, mentally they are happy, but physically or bodily they are not prosperous. So as Ciara is very observant, while he was staying in Mandalay, that's in Upper Burma. So while he was taking walking exercise during the morning along the Irrawaddy bank, so at one time he saw a family, sleeping on the sand beach. without anything underneath them, and uh, on cover of them is no blankets, just we call here guni, where guni bags. So, and also besides them were the dogs were sleeping, mingling with them also. Kara says, although there were many people were making noises and walking along that bank, they were they were still sound asleep. So Sarah was just comparing even those people in the wealthy building, in the bricks and all those beautiful buildings, they can't sleep well like them because they have to bother about their work and they have to check in because if they go to bed, whether all these doors and windows were all closed, or when they have to go out, they have to check it, whether they were all under lock and keys and all and so on. And after all, they don't need to take the hypnotic drugs, but they were sleeping very soundly. So, Sarah says for them, they have that mentally, but bodily, uh, physically, they don't have sukha at that time. So, even to Sarah said, even if we ask to the tycoons nowadays, so many millionaires, even to them, as they have been, as their aim and object are very high, so to strive hard to fulfill their aim, they have to strive more and more. So they may be there on their way, but they won't fulfill their wishes. So just like that, Sarah says, we are just swimming in the ocean of dukkha. So just to attain both sukha, both physically and mentally, what must we do? We can donate all these mobile units. Just like here, Sarah says we can donate if we can by bullocks, carts, or by horse carriages and cars. Or nowadays, they can donate cars. If they are affordable, they can donate ships, aeroplanes. But just for an average people, it's quite hard to donate all these things. But what we can do now is we can offer the tickets, air tickets, train tickets for if they are going by car, the tickets, or by ferry tickets. And so also by donating umbrellas, because by using the umbrellas, they'll be shaded from sun. They'll be free from rain if they are walking in the rain. So similarly, if we donate slippers, so by wearing shoes or slippers, they don't need to have, they'll be free from all the thorns or all the hard rocks or pebbles. And during the rainy season, they won't be, their feet won't be wet. So similarly, if you donate walking stick to the monks as well as to the elderly people, so if these elderly people use these walking stick, by the help of that walking stick, they can get up from the sitting position to the standing position without any difficulty. So by this means, this way of donating means you have donated your sukha. So now as for today, as our devotees have donated a standing fan to the monk, to Sayadaw, so by donating this fan, either by use by hand or like this electric fan, which means that it will be free from mosquitoes and all these flies. And also during the hot season, because of hot warmth around you, the preacher she can't pay attention on his subject. At the same time, those who are listening to, they can't, without these fans, Sarah says, you just stop all these fans and just listen. After a time, you feel hot and you feel discomfort, so that you can't pay attention to your Dhamma. So also the preacher, Sarah, he can't, because his body becomes discomfort, he couldn't preach well as just now. So, because on account of the help of this fans, as they are oscillating to make the air around here cool, so all the people inside here, they can listen to the Dhamma very peacefully, and as for the Siara, he can talk peacefully. So this means that you have donated your sukha. So in your future life, you will attain both sukha in both mentally and physically. By which means he has that all the other previous number 1 to 4 included by donating which one. So in number 1 case means you gain the strength and energy. Number 2 is for appearances. And number 3, as if you have donated your eyes. And number 4, your wealth or prosperity. So just to be included all these 4 types by donating or offering only one. That one is by donating the buildings. So by donating the buildings means, as Shara says, if you have donated the monastery to the monks, then as they are staying in this building, all the other 4 categories were included all in one. So as they were free from all these weather, sun, hot, or rains, or cool, or whatever it is, and also as they are staying under the roof, in the building, they can stay peacefully both body and mind, and they will have the strength because they don't need to. If supposing a person is standing in the sun for a long time, how can he have a strength? Then a person who can stay under the roof in the building. So also he will have that good appearance and compared to the person who has been staying in the sun. So by offering a building to the monks or donating the building to other concerned societies, supporting for the old ages and all, so which means you will gain all these 1 to 4 categories. So in this case, just for average people, Sarah says to build up big buildings or even a small building is quite impractical. So just to be practical, we can donate a small amount or to some amount if all the buildings are built up as a monastery or for the old age or for the handicapped. Says as he is going back on coming Saturday, and there's no time, Sarah wants to remind to all the yogis for the now and again and maybe for the last time, he wants to remind all that not only from the Penang, most of the yogis, they have to come from all the other towns and districts. So as they have been making such an effort to come here to meditate, so Sarah wants them to achieve something. So while they are meditating, Sarah wants them to be punctual. So not only punctual, they must take their proper places for meditation, because there are
places for sitting meditation on this side, for walking meditation for the ladies on this second floor on right wing, and then for the men for the walking meditation on the first floor, and then for the sitting, all of them in front on the second floor on the left wing, in front of that Buddha Rupa, and there are places for that. So Sarah says not only they must be punctual, they must take the sitting meditation or walking meditation in the appropriate places. And so also when they have to come up for either sitting or walking, they must be in the proper place during morning, in the afternoon. And Sarah says we haven't seen them in the proper places. And even at night time, just before go to bed for the transfer of merits, some they never attend the transfer of merits and for the chanting. And Sarah says during the daytime, some gave an excuse that because on the second floor it is so hot, they have to go down and meditate. So Sarah says, as for the yogis, when they come here for meditation, they must have endurance. They must have the courage to bear whatever the things they have to experience. So even Sarah says, as this room is meant for Sayadaw, as for the morning, for them, Sarah said, it's quite comfortable. But in the evening and in the afternoon, it was so hot. But for them too, they have to bear it. They have to stay in this room. So similarly, Sarah wants the yogis to make an effort so that they have the courage to bear all the things they have to come and experience. So what must they have that in endurance is they must have that Kani Parami. Kani means you must be bearable in all the things you are facing for. You must be able to adapt yourself whatever you have to eat or in whichever way you have to stay in. So only when you have that endurance only, then because in this Dhamma you have to achieve on your own. You have to make your own effort and you have to strive hard on your own. So in this way, you may be able to bear all the things you are facing for. And some Sayadaws says that he sees some of them sitting against the pillar. So if they are sitting against the pillar, how can they have that viriya or effort? Then if they don't have that effort, how can they achieve samadhi and so on? So in this case, Sayadaw gave an example during the time of Buddha, according to Dhammapada, in concerning with Bhikkhuni Brahmasari, he has preached in this way. So to a person, if a person he didn't see or realize the truth of the nature of happening or yoke and na or mind and matter, although he may be living 100 years or more, Buddha said he is not worth living for that long life. But if that person live only for one day or for one morning or for 1 hour, but in accordance with his meditation, if he can see the real or the truth of this mind and matter, what's happening, what is the nature of the truth, then it is more worthy to be a human being. So Sarah says in other way, how you may be living, how long you may be living as a human being if you don't see what is mind and what is matter, then it's not worthy to be lived as a human being. But if you see this mind and matter, the true nature of the mind and matter, then it's worth living even though you may live only for 1 hour. Sarah gives an example like our body, like the opium plants. So as for us, it's as you all know, in here they use bhumi. Bhumi means you have your body is throughout Tanmaya. We have been soaked with all these kilesa or all these defilements or all these impurities throughout our Tanmaya. So only now, as we all have been here and trying to make a mind culture or trying to make the fruition of this bhavana. So Sarah says we must discard all these kilesa from ourselves and be free from this kilesa bhumi, and then try to cultivate yourself in this bhavana bhumi. In other words, you must be destroy your kilesa in your body, and you must try and cultivate or develop your bhavana bhumi. So as not throughout Dandaya, as we all have been staged with all these kilesa, all these impurities, and so our body is all the time filled up with all these impurities. So in Burma, in the olden days, in the hilly regions and northern Burma, the hilly tribes people, they used to plant opium poppy trees, poppy plants, because they have, after planting them, because with the easy life, they earn a lot of money. So when do the people realize that these opium, from these opium plants are producing these opium, they are very dangerous to the people, to the community. So the people get lazy, they don't want to do hard work, and after that they want to gain a good earning. So when the government come to realize all these, now they have destroyed all these poppy fields, and instead of those poppy trees, they have coaxed all these people, they have forced them, they must do, and they have to cultivate all the grains, all the beans and all the fruits there, so that the dangerous areas have now become the useful land for the people. So similarly, as for the yogis now, as Sarah says, even these opium plants are only now they know this is they can gain easy money without no getting hardship. So, but for us, we have been staged with all these impurities throughout Dandaya, not only in this life. So throughout Dandaya, as we have been soaked with all these kilesa or all these impurities, now is the time only that we must be able to discard them. We must be able to free from them. As soon as all these kilesa, Sarah gave an example like trees or the plants, kilesa or the impurity plants, when they have the tendency to grow in you, you must be able to discard them. You must be able to try yourself to be free from them, so that at one time you will be in this bhavana bhumi, and you must have that. You must aim that. You must have that fruition of mega and phala. As in other aspects, when we are learning or education, when we are doing our business, when we are searching for work. So it is uh, it is more wiser to start in the early stage than when you are old. So similarly, when we are here for searching for Dhamma and we are coming in for meditation, Sarah says those who have searched earlier during the young age, it is for them it's praiseworthy. But at the same time, for the elderly people too, they mustn't be disheartened also, because but like in any other aspects, if we start earlier in our education, if we start earlier in our business or works, they have they achieve more profitable things than those who have start later at later stages. Because as for the elderly people, just like the old machine with the loosened screws, because of their age, their body were not so healthy like the young people. Their mind too were not so active like the young people. And according to the, because of their age, because they have more geriatric problems than the younger ones, then they have to strive more harder than the younger people. But for the younger ones, as they are in good health, and while they are active, while their mind is more active than the elderly people, they achieve profitable things earlier or easier than the elderly ones. So if the younger ones can attain or achieve jnana or vipassana wisdom within 1 month, the elderly people, they have to strive for maybe 3 or 4 months. So Sarah says, as for here, some people used to say, what's the use of go and spending your time while you are young, while you have still time for your happiness or for your fun? Why don't you go and why do you go and sacrifice yourself there just for nothing? This will be your boredom while you are in the young stage. You can enjoy life. But Sarah says, although what you think you are enjoying during the younghood is actually when you come in for taking the 8 precepts, when you come in for listening the Dhamma, then they all know that this is not the boredom job. This is, if they take interest, this is also an enjoyable thing to do in our life. So Sarah says, whatever you may be doing in life, everyone is not free from all the people. They may be discouraging you, or they may be saying you all the bad things about you. But whatever you may be doing, they will do all these things. They will say all these things. But Sarah says, whatever they are saying or criticizing on you it's just their job. Its job on part of you is what Sarah wants to do to you is you have to look after with your mind, mindfulness, both from sense of seeing, hearing, and especially from verbally. And you must control your for other people's from our side, we used to see other people from the negative attitude. So Sarah says it's just that concern, it's not your job. For your job is you just have to control yourself. So just like during the time of Buddha, there was a man called Purana. When he went and listened for the Dhamma talk, the first monk gave him a very short Dhamma talk. So he said, this monk was very stingy with his dhamma dog. He must be a very stingy one. His dhamma dog is so short. He criticized like that. And so again, next time he went and listened to the Shinsari Potara, which is he was the right side person, a bhikkhu of Buddha. So as he is a good preacher, he used to give a Dhamma talk for very long, so that it's like a heavy rain falling from the heaven. He will give the Dhamma talk. So in this case too, that Purana, he criticized that he just talked. He was so talkative and he gave a Dhamma talk so long. Sarah gives an example just to let the people here know it's just like a marathon. So, and again he went to another person, another monk, and then he listened again. So with this monk, he just talked neither short nor long. So in this case, what he says was, he just preached like a person who has just disrobed from the monkhood. So Sarah says, the person who has just disrobed from the monkhood, as they don't know what are the manners in the layman, so he has to judge himself so that he won't make mistake. He has to judge himself by saying things just by words. So in this case too, he has criticized like that. So Sarah says, nobody is free from all these criticizing things in life. Even to Buddha, who is the only perfect being in this world, even he is not free from all this criticism. So Sarah says, in everyday life, as for the yogis, you can control yourself just by whenever you come to see things or hear or from verbally. So if you can control yourself to not to commit all these akusu or bad deeds, then if you mold yourself day by day, then at one time or day after day, you are making yourself more of kusu or good merits. He has been praising for the younger ones. Sarah says all the elderly people here, they mustn't be disheartened. Because with Sarah's experience, in the Mahasi Center in Rangoon, there was an old Chinese man. He came and meditated there. He is over 80 years old. So he strived hard that within 14 days, after 2 weeks, he was able to listen to music. And so when it sees that even that Chinese man, he doesn't know a Burmese word. So even the Chinese man can strive hard. So he was admired by one Burmese old man also. His name is Umauji, and he is also 80 years old, 80 years and above. So he strive hard, but although his aim is to be level with that Chinese man, but he can listen to the music only on the 15th day. So Sarah says, although old people here, as for the yogis here, they mustn't be disheartened. If they strive hard with the determination, then they can achieve the Vipassana wisdom. Remind us about with Vipassana wisdom. As Sarah has been teaching previous days, he has reached to number 3 stage of Vipassana wisdom, that is Samasana Jnana. As there are 16 stages, number 1 is Nama Rupa Prasya Jnana. when you come to realize this is mind and matter. And number 2 is Visya Breka Jnana is what is the cause and what is the effect. And number 3 is the Matana Jnana. When you develop that, you will come to see impermanent, unsatisfactoriness, and unsubstantiality. So, on account of how to develop, how are we going to attain this wisdom is, Sarah says, on account of the basic is only to just mind and matter, or just 5 aggregates. So as we go on noting, from our concept knowledge, it becomes absolute knowledge to ourselves. So just like studying in a school from the primary to secondary to the tertiary, and so on until we become a graduate. So similarly, in this, when we develop these wisdom, when we develop first wisdom or nama-rupa, then a second stage of wisdom has more strength and quality than the first. And similarly, the third has more strength than the second. So whenever we are noting all these all these wisdom develops on the basic point is just mind and matter, or just five aggregates. So this is mind. When you come to realize this is mind or matter, or in 5 aggregate. After all, these are also mind and matter. So just like a farmer, to get good rotation of good grains, he has to plow his land. With the land on it, he has to sow the seeds. So after sowing the seed, the appropriate plants arise. Supposing grapes, barley, or other fruits, bananas, or whatever the fruit plant he has been sowing there, on account of that ground, with the sowing of the seeds, you will have that rotation. So similarly, on account of this mind and matter, as we go on noting, so we will attain the higher level of Vipassana, wisdom. But these, as most of us makes up that they can't jump up from first stage to, we can jump up from third stage or fourth stage at a time. Not even in a school, we may have double devotion or so, but we can't hear. So even for the normal average student, supposing when we come to learn a subject, English subject. So to learn an English subject, first of all, when we're a childhood, we have to start learning A, B, C, D, and so on, all together, the 26 alphabets. Only when we are thorough with our alphabets, then we come to learn CAT, cat, RAT, red, and so on. So only when that child, his or her intellect becomes